I love the site. We want to have you on, and you know, the fact that yes, you are a mom, but with all your credentials, I wanted to talk to you about those hot topics. We would talk about the kids are kind of back to school. They're sinking in. They're back in school, but we want to talk about the juice boxes. We want to talk about you know childhood obesity. We want to talk about what should we be doing as parents to make sure that we get our kids to college, because you got so many people that aren't making it there. I have a lot of friends that they aren't even hitting 40 years old, and I'm going to it's kind of sad. So without further ado, I want to turn it over to you, and just let's just talk about childhood obesity.
Sure. Well, not to make a pun, but it is a really big problem. I mean, it's really increased from 1980. We had about 7% of kids were obese, and now it's really skyrocketed. So we have about a third of kids, who are obese or overweight. So in the last 30 years, it really has increased tremendously, and it's a big problem. The percentage of adolescents, kids who are 12 to 19, is increased from 5% to 21% for obesity. So it's catching up with the adults. And as you said, Ted, what's happening in kids' eating habits now is going to predict where they're at when they're 40, both because they're laying the groundwork for healthy or ill bodies, and also they're laying the eating habits. So it's really important that you teach your kids healthy habits and that you help them have a healthy body starting now. But what's really exciting, I think, is when families decide to do it together. I mean, so many times I'll have, a mom call me and she'll say, I was in the dressing room. I had one mother, a week ago called me. Her daughter was so upset. She was in Old Navy and nothing fit. This is like a 9-year-old girl, and she wasn't able to fit into kids' clothing, and she was in tears. And, we got together as a family, and they're starting to change their habits, and they're really jazzed and excited about it. So I think one huge takeaway is, if you want to change your eating habits, make it fun, make it exciting, make it positive. It shouldn't be this drag of a diet. I'm actually extremely anti-diet, and on Smasher Scale, I really work to get people off diets and onto lifelong healthy eating habits.
Dr. Ellen, I gotta stop you right there, because I gotta say, I have a problem. Let's just say a loved one would say, "Oh, I'm on a cabbage soup diet," and I'm like, "Well, what happens in 30 days when you stop eating this cabbage soup and the weight starts to come back on?"
Right. And what about how your house smells when you're on the cabbage soup diet? That's a really scary one. But the worst thing parents can do is put their kids on a diet, because what happens is, when you're on a diet, you get hungry, and the hunger gets overwhelming, and then what happens is you binge. So you start this vicious cycle where you're upset, you want to lose weight, and the diet industry plays right into that, because they offer people magic bullets. They do the 30 pounds in 30 days, take this pill, and none of that stuff works. If it worked, we wouldn't have the obesity problem that we have now. So you start this vicious cycle where you deprive yourself of food, and actually that creates both psychological stress, and it raises the stress hormone cortisol. Because if you think back how people evolved, if you were starving, your body got stressed out and really focused on nothing but food. So if you're dieting, all you can do is focus on food. You feel stressed out, you feel horrible, and then what do? After a week or two of dieting, you go and you binge, you gain the weight back plus some more, and you just go into this vicious cycle. So dieting is really not the thing to do if you want to lose weight.
Dr. Ellen, tell me your thoughts on, hey, I see this in the store. You can get the juice packs. You can get a box of 10 for $1.88, and you know what? I'm going to send my child with 2 juices a day. What am I doing? Am I hurting that child? Am I helping them? And I know it's high fructose, but what's the other effects of that?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the juice boxes, because you're not getting the nutrition that you would get in whole food. And if you had an apple, it's not going to fill you up. You're not going to get all of the fiber and all of the nutrients that you would. So, my big thing is, either do low-fat milk, on the, kids love milk, schools all carry milk, or do water. I'm not a huge fan, as you said, the juice boxes really are a lot of concentrated calories that kids don't need. So it's not a good idea. I would stick to water. I would stick to milk.
Gotcha. So tell us, for your youngest child, that you're packing their lunch. Give us some insight into what you pack for the day for your child.
Sure. Well, he's a big fan of sandwiches. So I usually, sandwiches are leftovers. So if I, for example, if I make, a roast chicken, or, if we made some healthy, low-fat macaroni and cheese with some broccoli, he might take some leftovers of that, or I might, get him some lunch meat, such as turkey with some cut of veggies on the side, a piece of fruit, and, and something fun. I mean, it's fine to have, pack a cookie in there. Food should be fun. I'm all for kids enjoying what they're eating, but you really want to try to eat real foods. You want to try to provide them with fruits and vegetables, and you really want to try to keep away from the highly processed, salty, sweet foods that so many of us are addicted to.
Gotcha. So,
but if he also does school lunch a lot. I mean, school lunch is trying to do a better job. So, I mean, Michelle Obama has stepped in, and there actually are new laws that are trying to switch to healthier lunches, because a lot of kids get about 50% of their calories from school meals. So, you can see what your school system is like, but school lunches are trying to do a better job.
Okay. Tell us about SmashYourScale.com, because from looking at it, I tell you this much: when I was checking your Twitter handle, I immediately went to the site and I said, "Boy, this is interesting." Tell me about SmashYourScale.
Sure. Well, I created SmashYourScale.com because, frankly, I've had it with the diet industry. I actually was part of the diet industry. I've been a dietitian for 21 years, and so I used to put people on diets. And then as I was becoming a psychologist, really studying the destructive nature of diets, and also studying body image and learning new therapies to help women feel good about their bodies and themselves, I really wanted to come up with a way that was inexpensive, that I could work with women. So basically what the site is, it's for women. If you want to lose weight, it's great, but it's really, if you're looking to change your eating habits, you want motivation, you want accountability, you want advice, you want coaching. So basically what the site does is members, for only $14.95 a month, members actually get to work with me live through webinar conferencing. So I kind of was looking for a way where I've been working with people one-on-one for years, but I wanted to provide a simple, effective way to reach out primarily to women, to help them lose weight the right way, to learn how to eat when they're hungry, stop when they're full, make peace with food, make peace with their bodies. I've also been a personal fitness trainer, so putting the fitness angle in there as well. So that's really why I created SmashYourScale.com, because for women, if you want to have a healthy family, you've got to be an example yourself. So if you want your kids to eat right, it really starts with you eating right. And I feel like people feel so overwhelmed with so many diets out there, and I really am using the site to tell people the truth about healthy eating and being well, and really to make it a positive experience.
That's excellent. Because you look at the diet industry, and it's like, whether it's 11 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the morning, all the different infomercials on, and hey, like you said, take this magic pill, you're going to lose 40 pounds in the next week. And you're sitting there like, people really can't believe this. But, for some reason, I think they do.
Yeah, it's a $61 billion industry. So people are buying into the diet stuff because, everybody wants to get it off quick. And unfortunately, it just takes time. I usually tell people, give yourself, 6 months, give yourself a year, just lose a pound, half a pound a week. And actually, I tell people, don't focus on weight loss. The minute you start focusing on the weight loss, you're setting yourself up for kind of this negative thought process. Focus on being healthy. Focus on making little changes every week and enjoying the process. New recipes, new ways to move, get out and hike with your family. My son and I actually go rock climbing, which is a new thing that we're doing. And, we play extra games in the living room. We turn on, the Wii and jump around and have fun, but really enjoy it. I think so much of weight loss is really framed as something that's kind of, a punishment. And I really encourage people to start with taking care of their bodies and enjoying being alive.
Right, right. And I mean, and I think you hit upon a good point. Is you're on the weed, you're going rock climbing, so you're moving. You're staying active, and that's going to take off the pounds. So I mean,
right.
It's wonderful knowing that that there's sites like SmashYourScale.com that can go out there. You can go out there, you can join, you can become a member, have access to the literature that's out there, and also like you said before, the one-on-one. So tell us real briefly about your sessions that you have. Are they 15-minute sessions, 30-minute sessions?
The sessions are usually half an hour, so they're usually 30 minutes. And if you're a member, sessions are free, so you can attend as many as you would like. And I have sessions from everything from just, virtual coaching, so people can work on their fitness, they can work on their healthy eating habits. I have more sessions that are more geared towards positive weight management and weight loss. I also teach self-compassion, which is basically learning how to be kind to yourself. And it's a real problem for people, particularly moms, because we're so busy giving so much to our kids that we forget to be kind to ourselves. And then what happens is we just don't have any energy for anybody, let alone, our kids or ourselves. So what people do is basically when they join, they can sign up for sessions and then they can talk one-on-one with me.
Great. Hey, I do have one question. Can you tell our listeners about I don't really want to say binge eaters, what about the classic eaters that are, that eat really fast? What are some of the pitfalls of eating quickly while you're at the table? Let's just say, hey, I just want to grab something really quick to eat because I want to go catch the game.
Right. Well, the big pitfalls are you're probably going to end up eating more than your body needs because it takes your body about 20 minutes to realize that you're full. You're also not going to enjoy your food. If you're just woofing it down, you're not going to give your body what it needs. You're not going to enjoy your food. And generally when people are also grabbing things, they're not really planning and making themselves healthy food, so you're also going to probably compromise in terms of nutrition. So one of the things I teach on SmashYourScale.com too is mindful eating or intuitive eating. So really getting people to, especially, for families, one of the best things families can do is eat as a family at the table. Yes. And turn off the television. And it's something, I grew up eating like that, and I do that with my family. But so few families, sit and eat together as a family. And actually, they just came out with a new study that found that eating dinner as a family 2 or 3 times a week can reduce the risk of obesity in young adulthood. So it was a pretty rigorous study. But if that feels overwhelming to you, you can just start also with breakfast too. So I think you raise a really good point, Ted, about the binge eating. I mean, part of the binge eating too is people are using food for emotional reasons instead of just using food for what it was meant to, which is to nourish and take care of your body, and also and to enjoy, but in the right way.
Right. I know we're at the cusp right now of this closing out this interview, but I really would like you to just comment on the family that eats out or eating out when you're part of the program for SmashYourScale.com.
Well, sure. I mean, if eating out is part of what you do on a regular basis, I mean, that's fine. I mean, eating out is enjoyable. The thing that I recommend people do if they're really trying to lose weight and be more healthy is, first of all, to choose a restaurant that has healthy options. So you want to go somewhere that is going to serve things that are lower in fat and calories and things that you enjoy but are not going to be, your whole day's worth of calories in one meal. And most restaurants, particularly chains, have the nutrition information. So it's a good idea to, before you go, choose your restaurant wisely and decide what you're going to have before you get there. Because the problem is when you're hungry, actually research really shows that your willpower completely collapses. So you can go in there thinking, oh, I'm just going to have, the grilled chicken and the salad and maybe, one breadstick. And what happens is you sit down and you see the Alfredo. And if you're hungry, it's very, very difficult for you to make smart food decisions. So choose your restaurant, decide what you're going to do ahead of time, and also, think about either using a doggy bag, so just eating half your food and putting half of it away right away, or split an entree. There's nothing wrong with having an appetizer and then splitting an entree with someone and maybe splitting a dessert. So restaurant portions are humongous because that's what people want. So if you're smart about it, you can eat out, without packing on the pounds.
Wow, Dr. Allen, I want to thank you so much for just enlightening us and just the audience overall with health and wellness, just eating right, and just really, really helpful. I mean, this isn't the last time you're going to come on here. I tell you that much because we
I'm happy to come back, Ted, anytime.
Definitely.
We're on the same time zone, so we're good.
Oh, wonderful! Even better. So, tell us the best way to get in contact with you via social media.
Oh, sure. Well, you can go to Facebook and just go to Smash Your Scale, and you can get in touch with me there. And actually, I just posted an article about the one I just mentioned about family meals. And I do a lot of family-friendly things. My Twitter handle is Albertson. And you can go to smashyourscale.com, where actually the easiest way would just be to go to smashyourscale.com, and then you can find links for both my Twitter feed and my Facebook feed, as well as contact information if you just want to contact me, questions about the site, about working with me. I'd love to help you.
Definitely. And Dr. Allen, I just clicked like on your Facebook page, and after tonight's show, we're going to implore everyone to do the same. Thank you so much for just, joining us tonight, and we wanted to give you a round of applause.
Well, I appreciate that, Ted. It's a pleasure to be on. I love radio. I actually had a radio show for years, so I think radio is fantastic. I thank you. You're doing a great job by providing parents with such actionable information.
Thanks so much. And I remember in the email you mentioned you had a radio show for about 5 years, and definitely want to have you come back on. Thanks so much, Dr. Allen.
My pleasure. Have a great evening.